They come in all shapes and sizes. I'm actually not sure what size the ones I got are, but I think they're like the kind of the biggest ones that you can get at the Home Depot store or Lowe's that they carry. But you can get the longer ones that go all the way from the top to the bottom. I think they're about $100 for two of them. So you can get either one, or you can use smaller turnbuckles, but I'd rather just go bigger and just not have to worry about it at all. But if you got a lighter camper, which this one seems to be like one of the lightest ones out there, you could probably go a little smaller. Or if you don't plan on keeping it on for very long, which we don't plan on taking it off, so we'll go big and just leave it on there for now. So truck campers come in all shapes and sizes. Ours is kind of on the small side. You can get ones that are a tad bit smaller, but for weight-wise payload, this one's actually one of the lightest. It's actually under 1,000 pounds. There's ones that go up to about 4,000 pounds that have like a full-size kitchen and a full-size bath and a shower and a full-size bed and TVs and microwaves and everything in it. But then it's really heavy and you need a bigger truck. So there's lots of options out there. Obviously, you can get the pop-up or the hard top. That gives you a lot more options as well. So when it comes to new or used, I would definitely go used. They are going to be way, way, way cheaper than your brand new truck campers. Brand new truck campers are the most expensive campers you can get per square foot. They are crazy. We looked at a few and they were like $15,000 just for like a smaller one like ours. And they go up to about $50,000 ones with bathrooms and showers and TVs and microwaves, and it gets crazy because you can get like a pull behind, or you can almost get an RV for that price. But we've got ours. We looked a while. We looked on Craigslist a lot. There's a lot of used ones out there. Facebook yard sales. There's a lot of used ones out there. If you want a fixer upper, you can go to like salvage yards. There's a lot of them just floating around in there, especially hard top ones. The soft tops usually are kind of all damaged and they're hard to fix, but you can get those for like hundreds of dollars. And if you don't need a lot of the amenities, it's fantastic. Like $100, you get a home. $100 to maybe a couple thousand instead of 15,000. It's definitely way better to get used than new. As you can see, we like the soft top. We wanted one that would be able to pop up and pop down because we could get better gas mileage. It would be lighter. We can get more off-road places because we don't have to worry about the height of the camper at all. More aerodynamic when we're driving. There's just a lot of pluses. And then plus those windows open up in the top. So when you're sleeping, you can open those up completely and you get like 360 views in the background, and then you get the sun in the morning, which is fantastic. You can actually see outside and see the stars at night. It's pretty amazing, and it doesn't get hot in there because you can just leave the vents open, and you can just have the air flow through, and it keeps the bugs out as well. So we're all about the soft tops here. So with our pop-up, it actually has a little crank system inside to pop it up. I'll put a little video up here. It shows you just have a little crank handle, and you just crank it up, and it's up in a couple seconds, no issue. And it has a little lock on the side to just lock it, and you're good to go. And then when you're going to put it down, you just crank it the opposite direction, and pretty much the only big thing you have to do is make sure that the side flaps are folded in when you're putting it down, so it doesn't get pinched on the outside. But besides that, easy. A lot of them nowadays are electronic again, and they just go up and down automatically, which it's all right, but it's really not saving you that much time, and you're spending a lot more money. It's really not that big of an inconvenience for us. So for our truck, we only upgraded a few things on it. We were just worried about the weight, of course, so we did get a really light camper. We added pretty much just the Sumo springs, which I made a video on that one too. You can check that one out. It just adds to the suspension. It's kind of pretty much just like an airbag. We were looking at airbags for a while, but they seemed expensive and they can bust. So these are just like solid rubber, and they pretty much are like a giant shock absorber. So I really don't even notice the camper in the back at all. But that has really been the only main change that we've made to the truck so far, and it seems to be working fantastic. As for price, they're all over the place. You can get them for as cheap as a couple $100 for kind of just the shell that's falling apart, or for $50,000 you can get a brand new one that has pretty much everything that a normal house does. We've seen them both. We definitely went towards the lower side. We were in like the $500 to $1,000 range, and you can find some decent ones that pretty much all we wanted was the shell, and didn't really matter if anything was working inside of it. We just needed the pop-up to work, and we found a few of them. So driving with it is really not that bad. I really haven't had any issues with it. We've been driving in Texas for a while, and they've been super windy and gusty. You could definitely tell it was back there when it was gusty, and we were driving into the wind, because it kind of definitely slows you down. But besides that, it really hasn't been that big of an issue. I really don't know it's back there most of the time. The only time I really notice it is when you're in the city and you're trying to park it, which it's still not that big of a deal, but it feels bigger than the Escape that we were in for so long. So just trying to get it into parking spots is sometimes a pain. But now I just got to back in everywhere, because the back kind of hangs over a little bit, and you don't want it hanging out in the parking lot. So you back in and you're fine. But besides that, driving really hasn't been an issue at all. So gas mileage was definitely a big factor in going into this, and we wanted to not lose a ton after the Escape. But so we got the Silverado, and it was supposed to be averaging, I think, around 20 to 24 miles per gallon. We never really drove it that much really before we put the camper on it, but before it said it was still getting around 20 something. But now that we got it on, I think we're averaging about 16 to 17. So it's really not that bad, considering we have pretty much a full-size truck and a camper on the back. As far as space is concerned, we have a ton of it. I don't know what to do with all of it right now, actually. After being the Escape, we didn't really have too much room. Now we have cupboards galore. We have a library in there with all our books. We have a little fridge that's pretty much just a cooler, but we can put all our stuff in there. We got a tub down below where the water container used to be, so we have like 3 totes down there for stuff. We have the pocket sides over where the wheel hubs are at. We got all the extra room there. And we even got the space in the back of the truck underneath where we made our bed. So there's plenty of storage. It just depends on what you plan on bringing with you. Yes, it does come set up with electricity. Obviously, ours you need to have plugged in order for it to work on electricity, which we never are really plugged in. We plugged it in the first time when we got it to see if it worked, and most of it did, but we never really tried to fix any of it anyways, because we're never really going to be plugged in because we don't go to campgrounds. So, but it does come with a plug, just a 110 outlet. So if you do go to a campground, you can plug it in, and the fridge runs off that, and all the lights on the inside runs off that, and then there are electrical outlets that run off that. So it's nice if you are going to be going to campgrounds a lot. It definitely is set up and ready to go for you. So hopefully that helped you guys out if you are in the hunt for a truck camper. We'll probably bringing you some more truck camper Q&As in the future. If you have any more questions that I did not hit on this video, just make sure to leave them in the comment. I'll start adding them together, and we'll make another video soon. Or otherwise, if you just have any questions, you can write me in the comment section below. But if you like the video, make sure to hit the like button. And if you want to see more in the future, just make sure to subscribe. But we'll see you guys later.